Hey, welcome to another episode of the Black Guy Who Tips podcast. I'm your host, Rod, joined as always by my co-host,
Karen.
and we're live on a Sunday, ready to do some podcasting. Find us everywhere that you get podcasts. The official weapon of the show is
Folding chair.
an unofficial sport.
Bullet ball.
A bullet ball extreme, of course. The coronavirus halfway through the year sale is going. It's going on. I keep promising to put that episode. I'm going to put that in the feed today. Okay,
Yes.
Me and Karen are going to stay and do a little overtime, and we're going to get that out to you today.
Not no time and a half.
But you can get $100. You can get a full year of the Blackout Tales premium content behind the paywall. It's typically either $15 a month or $150 for the year. So this is a $8.33 a month deal. It's basically half off of what it would cost to just do it per month. We work hard. I think our behind the paywall stuff is great. I already see people signing up. I think putting that, that Shannon Sharpe episode of Balls D Sports out there for people might have got a couple of y'all to go ahead and say, maybe I do want to hear at least the sports show once a week for the next year. Thank you. Like I said, it helps the show out a lot, and it gives us like an operating budget and something for us to make decisions. And when you see these changes around here, they're not free. That intro, I had to pay for that. That outro, I had to pay for that. Even those of you who hate it and wish we would just go back, we like these things are decisions we make that cost money and stuff. The artwork, the new computer that I did, that I'm working around to see if I can figure something out. We're recording on that. So yeah, all this stuff helps tremendously when you guys sign up. So thank you to everyone who's taking the time to sign up. And plus, we want to see you behind the paywall. We do live shows.
It's
People
fun.
come and hang out in the chat room with us for the Nerd Off and for Balls D Sports, all that stuff. So thank you. All right, Karen, you have banter?
I do.
All right. Boom. Do you have any banter? Talk to me. Do you have any banter? Talk to me. Do you have any banter? Do you have any banter?
I do.
Talk to me. Banter. Talk to me. Do you have any banter?
I do.
Banter.
I do.
All right.
Yeah, and also before you go on, I know everybody don't use PayPal, so if you have other forms of payment, just email the show at theblackguywhotips@gmail.com, and Rod will work with you on those payments.
I can sign you up manually with Venmo, Cash App, all the Zelle, I got all of them. So if it's something where you're like, I would sign up for the premium deal right now, I just don't like PayPal, or I can't use PayPal.
Right.
We have other options available. Thank you, Karen. That's a great call out.
No problemo. But now I'm talking about my random thought, and this random thought is not really a random thought. It's I feel so stupid, but I'm glad you showed me. Whenever everything now prompts, and a lot of apps and things have like codes. So you do something, and then your phone sends you a code, and you can take the code and you can normally, put it on the screen or whatever, and it verifies who you are, whatever the case may be. I did not know that all I had to do was push the number, and the number would for iPhone, it would automatically paste into the page. I would be trying to use this good old-fashioned memory of mine to be struggling, to be writing shit down, and Roger looked at me. He said, "Oh, if you touch it, it'll paste over." And you know what? I looked at him like the light bulb came on. I was like, "Bitch, what?" It's almost like my mom never thought that that was an option.
Yeah, I routinely actually go to YouTube sometimes and just check out certain updates and stuff. That's a feature that I think most people know about that feature. That's pretty self-explanatory. But I'm not saying
over here.
Yeah, I know. I'm not even saying it to pick on you or whatever. I just think we all have things like that. So sometimes I just Google stuff or YouTube stuff to be like, wait a minute, there has to be an easier way. I was it was just like this month that I found out, if you want to see the time that someone sent you a message in your iMessages, if you swipe to the left on the actual messages, it'll pull up the timestamps for all of them. Because sometimes when I look at it, it shows the time, and then some messages it doesn't.
Shit!
So if you swipe to the left, you can be like, okay, she sent me this at 8:23 p.m. and I replied at 1:07. And it's like a good thing for, like, when you want to make sure the timeline of when you said something, like, didn't I tell them that yesterday or whatever? Or like, so like, yeah, it's and a bunch of stuff, like I Google, like we just got a MacBook for business purposes with the podcast, and I'm going to try to see how to use that to do podcasting, but I obviously have a lot to learn. I've never had a MacBook before. And I know people think it's simple, but a lot of those people have like had them for a long time, so they know all the shortcuts.
Right.
So I just Google or YouTube, like, how do you use the Mac? Like, what are some of the tips for beginners and stuff like that? It's just, it's just very helpful.
Yeah, you don't know what you don't know what you don't know till you know. And so Roger got put up on the TV one, the YouTube videos, and it was a dude, and he was really, really good, and he was speaking very elementary, but as somebody, like you said, who don't have a MacBook, he was just going through the things. He was making jokes. He was like, yeah, like this right here is where people who aren't used to Macs start having breakdowns because they don't really understand. But he said it's not really that hard. It's just an adjustment. Yeah. And when he explained, I was like, oh, okay. And everything began to make more sense in my brain. But like I say, that right there, it's almost like I looked at you like, oh my God, you have changed my life forever. I did not know this. Hey, no more fucking memorizing and writing shit down.
All right. Who will be Shannon Sharpe's Megan Good?
Oh no.
Someone gotta be. I mean, maybe he won't go that route, but I'm just saying. Okay, when Jonathan Majors fucked up, he knew where to go back to. Okay. He said, let me just do this. And I put this call out to the internets. I asked everybody. I went to our Instagram page and I said, hey, who is it gonna be? For the gram.
Hey, they had a lot to banter, they had a lot to say.
For the gram.
Doing it.
For the gram. Been a while since we did it for the gram.
Oh shit now. Some of y'all favorite segment is back.
Yeah, it's been a while since we did it for the gram. They left some comments on this, and I want to say about 27 comments. So they definitely did it big for the gram. So people put different suggestions, and one of them was a GIF, I don't know how you pronounce it, of Young Miami, because she was with Puff Daddy.
Oh no.
Morgan P. Campbell says, LOL, I would not wish that on anybody. And our girl Nick the Jew says that part. And I replied as us and said, I have a few people I would wish it upon.
Oh no.
But I'm quiet. But it's some people that I'd wish it upon. But anyway, Cheryl Underwood, who was a big, like, that was one. Cheryl Underwood. I think people was looking for like age appropriate black woman.
Okay, yeah, yes.
Maybe a bit conservative. The only correct answer is Sherry Shepherd, says I'm Victorian. She was also a very popular choice on my Twitter because I asked Twitter as well.
Okay.
Hiller says, can the district suggest Sage Steele as tribute?
Oh no.
I can see it working. Okay. She already thinks she white. She's just a bit too old. But the thing is, people kept saying she's too old is the answer, but then you don't understand what Megan Good is. Right. I'm not saying who does he need to hook up with to have sex. What is he into sexually? We know it's 19-year-old OnlyFans white girls that he has a fetish with, some black breeding and all this shit. That's not what we're talking about, guys.
Who's gonna be his Coretta?
Yeah, we're talking about PR. How do we spin him into this fake relationship where it's like, hey guys, leave him alone. This very well-liked black woman who is age appropriate is into him, and therefore we must all take a step back. That's what Megan Good did for Jonathan Majors.
And it always works. It's a subsection of people. They will fall for it no matter how much hook, line, and sinker.
Nia Long. That's a good one. Because the thing about Nia Long, like, once again, stop thinking about compatibility. Some of y'all like, I can't see it. We're not talking about that. We're talking about a PR campaign.
Yes.
Nia Long
trying to get your image back.
Nia Long is very well liked.
Yes, she is.
People don't have a bad word to say about Nia Long. So that's what Megan Good was very well liked. People didn't have a bad word to say about her. The bad thing they say about her is what? Why she with Jonathan Majors. I hope she didn't marry that fool for real. That's what they're saying. That's what he need.
Yes.
He need that level of black
He needs somebody
royalty.
where they're like, why?
He needs somebody so black, famous, and impeccable that we're like, I guess if she like him, then maybe he didn't do it. I don't know. Mrs. Gabriel says no one wants that job. Well, we'll see about that. I think there's some people
folks signing up for it.
I bet there's some applications already out there, sis.
You know,
I hate to tell you. I hate to tell you. Don't ever put it past anybody.
You might not want the job, but somebody do.
I'm sure you thought nobody wanted the Jonathan Majors job, but he's Megan Good is booked and busy. Rachel Dolezal.
Oh no.
Says Covina Anthony. That's a good one. Tracy Ellis Ross. People kept saying her. Now, here's what's interesting about the Tracy Ellis Ross one. Why people keep saying it is a petty ass gender wars reason.
Yes.
And it's essentially, hey, it's unfair that she said she's into younger men, and we let her slide, which is a bunch of this part is not true, right? Like, one, we didn't let her slide. There was a lot of people that got upset about it. But then two, she didn't say 19. She never said a specified an exact age. She just said younger.
Right.
And basically essentially not men of her age group, right? So let's say she's 50, not 50-year-olds. Now, that being said, you know, you can still have your opinions one way or the other, but I think that is a far cry from what is happening with Shannon Sharpe, which is twofold. One is the woman he met when he was 56 and she was 19. That is that's a much different type of age gap thing. Two, it's an OnlyFans model, and there was some sexual fetishism and BDSM, if you believe him, you know, for the record.
Believe him.
Which is, once again, a bit different than I date younger men because they have a more open-minded view of gender and stuff. If anything, Shannon Sharpe's views on gender sort of prove Tracy Ellis would not want to be with him, right?
Agreed.
And then the third thing is, you know, the sexual assault part of it. So for all of those reasons, I think people are saying Tracy Ellis Ross at a petty, like, get back. But that don't make y'all wrong. What that means is, like, even though I know y'all probably did it for petty reasons, thinking y'all being funny, Tracy Ellis Ross, well, like, age appropriate.
It would fit the PR run.
It would help him tremendously if Tracy Ellis Ross said, lost her damn mind and was like, I'm with Shannon Sharpe now. People would be like, what, did he not do it? I don't know. Tracy Ellis Ross has never been a fucking fool, so I have to see how it plays out.
Right.
Candace Owens, once again, petty reasons and funny, but obviously wouldn't work. Nobody like her ass either. Let's see. Empress Les says, nah, this is the most ridiculous and realest shit I've read all week. Who we nominating for Captain Save a Negro? Someone said Maya. Maya's a good one. Because you know another reason Maya's a good one? Maya don't never really be saying nothing to nobody.
Nothing.
So we all all she is beautiful, extremely well maintained, extremely well liked, not controversial in the least bit. And we just project all positive things on the Maya. No one got a bad thing to say about Maya. She could be his Megan Good. That's like the superwoman of Megan Good. Like, because we would all just have to be like, well, we've never heard her speak. Is she dumb or is she just so smart? I don't know. Brittany Renner, that won't work. That's a good, funny one, but it won't work. The rare element says Medea. Now you know Medea ain't gonna work. Come on now. I know what y'all trying to say.
Medea be done shot him.
Jackie Harry, that's a good one, but I feel like Jackie Harry got too much mouth. She gonna joke him. She gonna joke people that's joking him. she gonna if y'all talk crazy to her, she gonna clap back.
Right, it's gonna be she gonna fuck up the PR run.
Yeah, because like Megan Good thing is that she will sit up there and let this man cry in an interview and not, and when people call her Boo Boo the Fool, she won't respond to none of us. She just be like whatever. But I feel like Jackie Harry gonna say something to some of us. If anything, she might reveal the whole scheme. Like, yeah, let me get my check. Y'all chill out. And everybody's gonna be like, see, I told you it's fake. Reg Dow says Vivica Fox. Once again, not well enough liked in my opinion. But she would take the job.
Yeah, she fit the description.
She was. Yeah, she's old enough, but I don't think she's well liked enough. I don't think it would save him from any arrows pointing his direction. Someone said he don't like this kind. LOL. Let's see. Oh, I said that too. He gonna have to find himself a black woman to build a bear back together.
Oh no, not
he
build
needs
a bear.
Sherry Shepherd. Man, if Sherry Shepherd followed me on any social media platforms and saw these answers, I know she's like, what the fuck I do?
What the hell is this?
Like y'all just throwing my name all up in it. On Club Shay Shay, Lil Yachty tried to hook him up with his mama. However, he said she was too old. Wonder why. She probably not too old today for this PR run, but yeah. So those are the answers to who to who Shannon need to get with. Who could be his Megan Good? All right, Karen, on to you.
My next one is my last one. Last night we wanted to branch out for dinner.
Oh my God.
And it's this place, and every time we go in this little shopping center, this motherfucker be jumping, y'all. Like when I tell y'all that bitch is jumping, like it stay booked.
I almost don't want to say the name because of what we're about to say about this motherfucking place.
Don't say the name,
But oh my God, I want to say the name because it's so goddamn ridiculous.
Terrible.
It was so ridiculous.
Yes, it was.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Yeah, and y'all, for real though, like
now part of it's our fault. So let me just say that part of it's our fault. So
we didn't know.
If we went in on a whim, the place is more like it's a very black establishment, and it's a hookah bar lounge type vibe that they're going for, even though it is named something that would make you think it's just a restaurant. It's like blank drinks and food is basically the name of it, right? And so they have like late night hours. They only open up at night, 5 p.m. to midnight, to 5 p.m. to 2 in the morning. So it's kind of a night club spot. And we go in there and because it's like, oh, that's a swanky cool place. They're playing music that I listen to, but I listen to young people music sometimes, not trying to be cool. It's just I like to stay up on what's new. So we walk in and they're playing songs that I know and shit. I'm like, okay, I'm a fat nigga, give me more chicken or whatever. I'm like, oh, this must be where the cool people hang out. We're not cool, we're older, but you know, it was not like we was so much older than everybody else in there. It felt like they was around our age-ish, you know, I thought. And we go in there and sit down, and the music is very loud.
Yes, and that right there, all jokes aside, that should have been my first cue to get my ass up and leave.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, okay.
And Karen, you know, Karen's with me, so I'm not just only thinking about myself, which is I probably would have got in there, seen the vibe, was like, oh, as an introvert, this is 100% not my thing. It felt like a strip club almost.
Yes.
It wasn't a strip club, but it felt strip clubbish.
Atmosphere.
The atmosphere is there. The music's loud for you to drink, and people are supposed to party, order bottle service, stuff like that. Anyway, we sit down, and it's not full. There's one table with like, maybe it was a bachelorette party or something, but there's a bunch of black women dressed in like, you know, like they were partying or something. Right.
And also something else too, even though there were people casually dressed like me and Roderick, but when we walked in,
there was a few.
Yeah, we walked in, it was like, oh, everybody was kind of dressed like they were going to the club.
some of the women at that table were, but I don't
Okay.
think. But the other people that were just couples in there, they were dressed like t-shirts and jogging
Okay.
pants. There's people sitting outside on the patio, t-shirt and
just
jogging
chilling,
pants.
right.
So I made sure to note that because I always think of
Okay.
stuff like that when I'm going into a place I've never been. It's like, oh, am I underdressed? And is that
Right.
going to affect the service that I receive, or do they have a dress code or whatever?
Right.
But it wasn't a dress code situation. It was pretty casual.
It was.
Like I didn't feel underdressed. At any rate, we sit down, and I'm not exaggerating. Like I started looking around because now that we're there, and the reason I wanted to go here is because I saw from outside they had the basketball game on, and in Charlotte, it's real hit or miss with people having the NBA games on.
Yes.
You'll go in a bar, it'll be fucking hockey on, or you go to a restaurant and they only got a couple TVs and they're both on like NASCAR or some bullshit.
And then you be like, hey dog, like we got two of these. Two of this is soccer. Can we please turn one of these to basketball?
Yeah, and a lot of times it's just who works there deciding like I'm gonna put the channel on this, and if you ask them to change it, a lot of times they will. But
Right.
my point being, a lot of times I don't even want to do that. I just like to go in a place, see the basketball game on in the background, and eat my food and look at the game. And it was a good game between the Nuggets and the Clippers, and I was like, I want to watch it here. So I started looking around, surveying the spot. They had these girls in like tight pink outfits that are like, almost like your
It was like a top and a bottom.
Well, no, what I was gonna say is they if you guys remember right during the beginning of the pandemic, they had the Amazon yoga pants, kind of like those.
Mm-hmm.
Now y'all know I love butts, so I was like, I mean, it's everyone in here except for this one white dude who was leaving as we walked in. Everybody was black.
Yes, everybody was black.
Right, and the women in the pink, who I thought was maybe waitresses or whatever,
I did too.
they was all like IG model big booties. Like it was amazing. I was like, oh, this is the best restaurant, the best kept secret in Charlotte. How have I not heard of this? And it wasn't like a strip club, but it was like if Hooters changed their name to Cheeks.
If Hooters was Cheeks.
If it was Cheeks, this would have been the place. I was like,
Yeah.
finally, a home for me. But it kind of had Hooters problems.
Yes, it did.
So everyone in there was mostly like couples, except for that table of all women. And I saw the table of all women getting like a couple plates of food in the time we were there, but not everybody was getting their food at the same time.
Mm-mm.
And I looked around. There was one couple who had finished their wings, and that was all they had. And I saw another couple who I don't think they had drinks but no food, and another couple who didn't have anything. They were just sitting like we were.
Mm-hmm.
And when I tell you guys, everybody looked a little bit annoyed.
Yes, yeah, they did.
Everybody except the table of black women who were just vibing off each other's
too
company.
busy talking and shit. Yeah.
Everybody else looked a little bit annoyed. And I'm like, okay. Food looked, the menu was fine. Had your typical, black lounge foods that, the Hennessy wings type shit. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Not trying to be shady, but y'all know what I'm talking about. And so we sit there, and I realize I haven't seen a waiter or a waitress come to a table
move around the whole restaurant
one time.
Not one time. Only person we see moving was the bartender, and they were way in the back.
And all the girls in the pink were hanging out in another area by like a different type of bar that was just over in the corner. I assumed they might be waitresses or something, but it occurred to me after a while, like, oh, maybe they're like bottle girls.
I was thinking so too.
Because we don't do nightlife stuff, clubbing that much, and so we're just squares. We're out of our element.
Yeah, well, we didn't even know it was a hookah joint.
Yeah, and so, like I said, no exaggeration. We waited, I want to say 20 minutes.
Yeah.
A waitress never came to any table. Or waiter.
The only other person we seen moving was a man who came out, and he was just picking up the plates and wiping the tables down.
We never saw one wait person in 20 minutes. And the restaurant wasn't empty. It just wasn't full. It was like halfway full. Not once. And so eventually, I started doing the math in my head, and I'm like, we've looked at the menu. We know what we're going to order. We know what, all that stuff. And I said, wait a minute, man. Hookah lounge. Maybe this is not a restaurant for like you go in, grab some food and go home. Maybe this is just not a very good restaurant. It's just order some drinks and
more laid back, and child hookah ain't gonna keep me there. No big ass is gonna keep me there.
And nobody
service,
and nobody was doing hookah at the time either. Like the restaurant had, I don't know when the hookah was supposed to bust out, but it wasn't. Nobody was smoking nothing. And so I was just like, yeah, I think maybe we should leave.
Yeah, when we walked out, the lady, she was still there. I smiled. The lady who set us down.
The hostess.
Yeah, the hostess. She was still there. I smiled at her. She smiled at me. I nodded my head and walked right on at the door.
Honestly, she looked like that happens a lot. She didn't even try to stop us or ask us a question.
I thought about that. I was like, this must happen a lot.
We didn't even get drink orders like water or something.
Nope.
And so we went to a restaurant like in the same strip mall, like right up, and just we eat at all the time, and a place that I originally intended to go to, and the food was great.
Yeah, watched the game on Roger's iPhone and had a ball, and actually had more fun.
Yeah, like I was able to watch it on HBO Max or whatever, but while we were there, Karen, I had this thought when we were in the restaurant, but Karen went ahead and did it when we got out the restaurant. And looked up reviews for the restaurant, and my God,
I don't know something. When we we went to the place a few doors down. I sat down. I was like, I wonder. I was thinking we can't be the only one that have had an experience like this. Because, like you said, when we walked out, the hostess didn't say anything, and in my mind, with her not saying anything, I was thinking this must happen all the time. And when we went in, she was like. We was like, how long this been here? She was like, oh, we just crossed over a year. And when I was leaving, I was thinking, bitch, y'all ain't gonna be here too much longer with this terrible ass service.
Yeah, I don't even understand. Like I do, I do understand. I think if I was a man of a certain age or single or that thirsty, it is a great place to look at butts. It's a great place to like maybe try to holler at a chick or something. Like it might be like a clubbish spot, especially with those hours. We came before the club stuff would even have started.
Right.
But it is a place that is so obviously not preoccupied with food and being a restaurant, even though they sell food in a restaurant. And on the menu, they actually had a 20% mandatory gratuity
no matter what you bought,
which made me think, because y'all know the service is shit. People been walking out of here not tipping because the service has been so bad, and then y'all, and I'm like, I hope people aren't trying to use this as like a black thing, like it's a black restaurant with black clientele that services like black people, so black people don't tip. It's like, no, this is the worst fucking service that anyone who doesn't know that y'all are just more of a bar / club than a restaurant.
Yeah, you guaranteeing gratuity, because if not,
hold on, I wasn't done. Hold on. I'm saying anyone who doesn't know that is going to not tip, because they're going to be like, I just wanted some wings and an entree, and it took me 30 minutes to even see a waitress come to my table.
Right.
Obviously, 0 tip. So y'all made it mandatory because y'all have decided that is going to be the level of service that y'all do all the time, probably, unless maybe once you get to club hours, maybe it livens up, and because that's when the ballers and the late night stat, and you want the vibe to be different,
right?
But y'all open early enough for restaurant hours. It's 5, it's 4, it's not late.
It's 6.
Yeah, like it wasn't a late period. I think we got there like maybe 7:30. So that's prime dinner hours. Y'all clearly were not going to be a dinner restaurant. And it was sad. Like it was whack. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. You just making me think you were going to cover the reviews.
Yeah, I have the reviews. So this is what kind of our experience. But yeah, this person says, I couldn't tell if it was a restaurant or a club. The music was far too loud, made it impossible to hold a conversation with my friend sitting directly across the table. As for the food, I ordered a medium rare NY strip. While I'm not a steak expert, what arrived looked more like a ribeye, and it was surprisingly thin. For $28, this is incredibly disappointing. Definitely not worth the price. You're better off going to Longhorn for a better steak at a lower cost. To make matters worse, we were even given plastic cutlery instead of silverware, which made it almost impossible to cut through the steak. Adding to the frustration, this was sick. How long ago was this? 5 months ago. This was not that long ago. Adding to the frustration, the food wasn't served hot. I said that when we left. I said, because we were over at the other restaurant, so I'm making jokes, and I'm just like, 30 minutes into the other restaurant, I'm like, oh, we would have just now been getting our drinks.
Yeah, we was joking the whole time.
An hour later, probably would have got our first appetizer.
Yes.
He says, added to the frustration, the food wasn't served hot, and each person at our table received their meal at a different time. That's a little like what was happening with those women. On the positive note, the strawberry lemon drop cocktail was enjoyable. That alone doesn't make up for the other issues. Overall, I wouldn't recommend this restaurant to family or friends.
Yeah, and I think Crowdcast might be having trouble. I don't think it's nothing with you, because everybody's saying it's like freezing and buffering, but I don't think that would be us, would it?
I don't think so.
Okay,
I'm moving fine. You're moving fine. Now I'm afraid to refresh because I wonder if that'll make y'all lose. Like if I'll have issues coming back. But as of right now, I'm fine.
Okay, no problem.
I'll read another one.
Go ahead.
Tamija says, I don't recommend this business to anyone. If you get the waitress, Leah, expect to have slow, sorry service. She literally the worst waitress ever. My water was not refilled the entire time I was there. This is a week ago. She took forever to bring me the ticket. I asked her to see my ticket instead of her showing me the ticket on her device. She brought me a receipt, and it took 15 to 30 minutes to bring me the device to pay. We had to approach her to even receive the ticket to pay. That is really ridiculous. I won't be back. Black businesses need to do better. Oh, she had to take it there. She had to take it to the black businesses. Oh, my goodness. Lashana says, 6 months ago, not the best experience. They had an NY strip on the menu but served a ribeye instead. So that first person wasn't wrong.
They was like, I know fucking ribeye when I see one.
That first person wasn't wrong.
Okay, people go, bitch, I know my cuts of meat, and this right here ain't no.
Like, here's a picture of the food. I like how his arms are folded like he mad. You can see from the body language. He ain't even touched the steak even. And yo, those are plastic.
Shit, that is plastic. Child. Like to go.
Oh no! Now see, he mad. That's a man that is in mid rant. He see his hand up there. He like, this some bullshit. Take a picture of this. And this the other dude that got a ribeye. The food looks good here, but yeah, I guess that isn't the right strip steak or whatever. But let's see. Mel says, first and last time going to this place, had a 7:45 p.m. reservation. This 3 months ago. Didn't have a server come to offer water until 8 p.m. We placed
15 minute wait.
We placed our order 5 minutes later. As an appetizer, we ordered salmon bites, and I will say they were very tasty, but our entree took an additional 45 minutes to come out. Well, at least mine did. I ordered a ribeye steak, and 50% of it was fat. I was so disappointed. My husband ordered the lamb chops with mac and cheese, but the most disturbing part of it was when our server brought out his side of mac and cheese, and we didn't get an entree for another 15 minutes. So the mac sat on the table getting cold for 15 minutes before any more food came out. Yeah, I made a joke at the restaurant we went to. It was like, what? I bet they just got one pan in the back.
Did they all cook out of? The fuck is this?
I was like, are they money laundering? What? How are they making money?
Is it a whole house? How you making money? This don't make sense.
If you're selling ass, just say that. If it's drugs in the back, just let me go buy the drugs. Maybe that'll make me chill out.
We can cut the middleman of bullshit. At least if I'm high, I don't give a fuck about the service.
My hubby was so annoyed, he asked for them to box his food up because I pretty much finished my half of steak and his food hadn't came out yet. Our server was very apologetic, but it didn't stop them from giving us a bill for $116. Can't believe that garbage they served was $116. We didn't order cocktails, just lemonade. I would not suggest this place to my worst enemy. Food is mid and the service is horrible.
Yeah, you know what? It would not be surprising. I bet you the age of these people is probably 30 and up. You know, like the people that's leaving them 1-star reviews are like, bitch, I'm too old for this. I came in doing restaurant hours and I expected restaurant things and I didn't get them.
Kimberly says, if I could give 0 stars, I would.
Kimberly upset.
It made him give 1 star. That was 2 months ago. The absolute worst experience I've had in a while. I try to support black businesses, but this is a prime example of why we can't. Order a ribeye steak medium, came out well done. You know, brown, no pink. I cut into it several places and decided to send it back. Waitresses are very apologetic and said they'll send the manager over. Manager comes over as if we're friends and tells me that the steak is medium and invites me to come to the kitchen to see how it's prepared. At this point, I'm insulted and don't want to deal with the low vibration establishment.
Not the low vibration.
The low vibration establishment.
That's hilarious.
Oh no. I get the check and leave, and the way out, the manager is sitting. She put manager in quotes, sitting by the door playing on her phone with no sense of professionalism at all. 0 out of 10 recommend. Antoinette says, was beyond excited to try this restaurant while visiting Charlotte and was highly disappointed. God damn, Antoinette wrote a book. Oh my God.
Has something to say.
You know you so mad when you think that I need all the details. That's how mad she was. She typed all this out.
Probably like, we sat down, I breathed hard.
This was only 3 weeks ago. Right.
I looked sideways.
Right.
They give you that thing when you trying to look for a recipe.
The girl at the door's mascara didn't match her lipstick.
Yes. That was like, I looked down at her shoes.
Right. We arrived to the restaurant around 2:30 and went out inside to be placed on a wait list for a table for 4 people. We were instructed to have a telephone number, and the table will be ready in 10 minutes. We returned to the car, and after about 20 minutes of seeing people walking in, we decided to go in and check the status of the table. We requested outside seating and was directed to go to a dirty table, and the server would come and clean it off and bring 2 extra chairs for the 4 people eating. We literally stood at this table for 15 minutes until my mother stopped a member of their staff and asked if we had been forgotten about. Someone came and wiped the table and told us a server, Brian, would be with us shortly.
I think these servers don't exist.
Brian was clearly overwhelmed to the point that the owner brought out water and reassured us that the server would be with us shortly. Our orders were finally taken, and we sat down there waiting for food, enjoying their live. We sat there waiting for food, enjoying their live DJ and nice weather in Charlotte. After about an hour passed, we started to wonder where our food was. Woo! And as we all discussed it, the owner, who had been taking care of us, came over to the table. She informed us that the kitchen was backed up and apologized for the inconvenience. She told us that she would discount our bills for the wait that we experienced. She asked if the bills would be together or separate so she could apply the discount. Food for our table started to come out around 4:30. They got there at 2:30, y'all.
What?
That's 2 hours later.
Bitch, I'm glad we
Y'all
left.
could have watched Sinners. But not
you
all.
sure could have, and at least had a better time.
And I'm not done with this sentence, by the way. Our food for our table started coming around 4:30, but not all together. One person received food, and then 5 minutes later, 2 more of us received our food, still leaving one person without their food and another entree missing. We asked the food runner, and she said that it would be coming out shortly. 15 minutes went by without the last person's food being brought to the table. She went to the bar, asked about the food. Again, the owner came over with the food shortly after and issued another apology. Are they just... Is this on purpose? How many apologies? Maybe it's not even a man. They just have a designated apologer.
They do. I'm not trying to find it. It would not be surprising if the real manager probably is never on site. Like the person whose job that is probably never there.
I don't know about that. I was making a joke. I like that you went with it, but you went in a very serious direction.
Oh, sorry.
I just imagine a link. Imagine a LinkedIn post that's like, we are hiring an apologizer.
You know what? I bet you they rotate. You know how when you're serving, sometimes at some restaurants they have a person where you don't actually serve on the floor. You're a runner. So do they rotate that around where they be like, Kimberly, it's your night to be manager.
You apologizer tonight.
Yeah, you apologizer tonight.
I just wanna see the job listing for apologizer. That's all.
Yes. Cause that sounds like that's all they do is apologize.
Are you good at looking sorry but not being sorry at all?
Can you make people feel very comfortable?
How good are you at leaning over tables and whispering at people while people yell at you? How good are you at that?
How good are you at decelerating situations? De-escalate situations.
Right. Here's a multiple choice question. How long is 15 minutes? 15 minutes? 30 minutes? As long as I need it to be. Bitch, you'll get the food whenever. Or, I'm sorry.
And that would determine if you get the job.
Yeah. You just answer to every question. I'm sorry.
Yep.
Throughout this whole process, we never seen our original server, Brian. What?
I told you Brian didn't exist, though. Whoever she told us, I don't think that person existed either. Y'all just be making up names. Sharon to be right with you. Y'all don't have nobody on your goddamn staff named Sharon. Because as long as we was sitting there, nobody's seen her ass.
No one did a table check once all food had been brought to the table. This is important because personally I did not like my food but never got a chance to tell anyone. They know. They don't need no update. They know.
They know their food come out cold.
Right.
They know their food come out in parts.
Girl, your steak was sitting on the counter for 45 minutes. Of course it's not good. We know that.
They sending y'all shit out like Lego sets.
Right.
In pieces.
We were all over the experience and wanted to just pay and leave. However, we watched the owner who had been taking care of us leave. We asked, what?
I told.
He left.
That's the apologizer.
How you gonna be the owner and leave? And
because
he was like, fuck
owner.
it, everybody mad. Because y'all ain't the only table mad. He's like, fuck it, I need a break.
I guarantee you that person was not the manager. The manager's in the back locked their door in the back, having everybody else deal with the issues.
We asked the other tables around us and they seen the server assigned to us. If they had seen the server assigned to us, no one was waiting on the tables on their patio. My cousin then went inside to request our bills. This is another 30 minutes before someone even came out to help us. It was so bad, other tables are asking my cousin if she worked there and could she get their checks as well.
God, oh Lord. They was like, I'm ready to cash out too. Can you excuse me, ma'am, miss, can you keep me cashed out too?
They got to be laundering money, man. It's
Yes!
no way this is a real restaurant that stayed in business for a year.
It can't be a real restaurant, nigga. It just can't. Y'all doing something under the table because this shit don't make no sense.
Just like the car wash from Breaking Bad. Y'all don't need to make restaurant money, so it don't matter.
Y'all are just shocked people ain't smoking hookah. Y'all order food? Shit.
Honestly, we wanted to, this is like what Arby's is like. Honestly, we wanted to just leave without paying because our experience was horrible. To wait an hour for food that doesn't come out hot, $30 lamb chops that are majority fat and dry is ridiculous. To see a whole staff literally ignore and neglect an entire patio of people is unacceptable.
You know what, baby? And their service is so bad and they don't keep a track of shit so much. It would not be surprising if people waited so long that they just up and just left.
Well, when you're money
meal.
laundering, it don't matter if people leave or not. You just write down in the accounting that they stayed.
Yeah.
What I think is funny is, do you know how fucking mad you would be if you already took forever to get waited on? You had to go chase down your waiter to get your drinks and your food. That shit still came out wrong, different times, cold, bad quality. Then you had to chase them down to say, hey, can I at least get the check?
Can I pay?
And then it took another 30 minutes to get that. Oh my God. How is it?
No, I would write a book too, trust.
Honestly, when I left here, I'm gonna tell you guys, all right? I'm gonna be honest, full disclosure, 100% honesty. Okay, that's what we do here at this podcast. I had a thought. And I felt a little bit like a coon for thinking it. Okay.
What's up?
But I was thinking like, maybe I'm being anti-black. That happens. But I was like, man, that feels like a place where somebody gonna get shot.
Yes.
But I was picking up the vibes. Reading these reviews now, I feel it because at the time I said, damn, am I a coon? Because I'm not afraid to be around black people. I don't care. I have not mentioned that it's black owned or black restaurant as a negative this entire time because I don't believe in that.
Right.
I go to black restaurants all the time.
Same.
Sometimes if I'm being a little honest with y'all, a little fair, sometimes when the service is bad, I get excited because I'll be like, I know this food is fucking hitting.
Yeah.
Not everybody, not for the lounge, but for the soul food restaurant.
Yeah, certain spots. Yes.
I'll be like, I look around, I see everybody a little bit mad. I'll be like, oh, I know this shit good.
Yes, I know it's gonna be.
I know because it's got to be good because they do this so often that the food acquits itself. Meaning,
yes,
you be like, man, why the fuck is it taking 40 minutes to get fried chicken? And then you take that bite and you be like, oh, never mind. All the anger is leaving my body.
I'll be back next week.
Right. That like Jamaican spots notorious
for that. Yes.
Honestly, I don't know how long it actually takes to make Jamaican food. I actually don't know. Like it might. Like if you told me,
whenever they tell me it's done.
If you told me it takes 45 minutes to make jerk chicken, or it takes 2 hours, or it takes 10 minutes, I could not tell you that you were lying.
I just lose track of time when I'm in there.
I just know it's gonna be to the thinnest edge of my patience, and that's when it's gonna be ready. Right then. I've ordered Jamaican food from a food truck before, and it was like, should I just leave? I'm in my car waiting on them to, like, I went back to my car. It was taking so long. I'm like, should I just fucking leave? I don't know. And then right as I was like cranking up the car, like, fuck it, they got my money today. Bing! Got the alert, got the food. Worth it. Worth it. The rice and the peas. It was worth it 100%. but boy, was I mad as hell. I think it'll make you anti-black while you waiting. You be like, you sound like that lady on 22 Twos on Jay-Z's first album, Reasonable Doubt. You be like, see, this is why our people don't have anything, because we don't know how to go into places and act.
You be like that lady on that skit to I want my chicken extra fried. I want it wet. My fries were soggy last time. Now you hesitating. That lady, I love that. I love that commercial. Not the commercial, but that skit.
So let me finish her thing. But yeah, but now reading these reviews, I wasn't being racist. I wasn't being anti-black.
Nope. Somebody gonna get pissed.
This shit right here make you shoot a motherfucker.
And they gonna be like, bitch, I've been in here for like forever. And yeah, I could see somebody getting highly upset.
Yeah, I'm not talking about just anti-black thug bullshit. I'm not talking about you see black people and get scared. I'm talking a reasonable human being.
A reasonable person.
A reasonable human being can come in there at 2:30, and if they ain't getting their food till 4:30, and then they ain't getting their bill till 5, and now it's 6 and they can't find you to pay, and the cars are right there by the door where the guns are. I can see somebody shooting that motherfucker up. I hope it don't happen.
Down south, same.
Yeah, I hope it don't happen, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Not everybody got 3 hours of patience in them.
Right, particularly if they had other plans or other shit to do or had planned on going somewhere else. They like, well, shit, you done fucked up my plans.
And I know other people got to be getting attitudes with each other.
Yes.
Do you work here? Because I saw you got your check. No, I don't work here, bitch. What the fuck? Clap, clap, pow.
Yes, next thing you know, you got a brawl.
We literally sat at the table waiting for someone to make payment for us. I am a bartender and tried to be understanding. This is unacceptable. I literally had to go to the bar, pay my tab, and ignore while standing there. Thankfully, I know how to use the toast system because I found my table and tapped my own tab. She had to take that console.
Give it this.
Girl, what's your waitress code?
She took that thing and spun it.
What's your cake? You know what? 1111. Just put the fucking money in.
Right. She turned the tablet towards her, started typing in home code.
Right. By the time you leave, you work there.
Yes.
It's really just a Black Mirror episode. Everybody comes there to eat, but by the end, you work there, and that explains why the service is so bad. Because nobody intended to have that job. Everybody is just a hapless soul.
I was a customer that got turned into a waitress,
stuck in the purgatory of this cocktails and kitchen place.
It's like, the fuck is happening?
And you gotta wait till another person stays for 5 hours, and then they replace you in the purgatory, and that's how you get free.
That's how you escape.
That's what that manager was when she said that the owner got in the car and left. I was never the owner, ma'am. I came in here at noon to have brunch. That was 3 weeks ago. I needed to get somebody to stay here 6 hours to take my place. And I hate to tell you this, but you now work here. You are the manager. You got the juice. You the new owner. Here's your knee pads to apologize to everybody.
Right?
And here's your apron. I got the attention of Brian and showed him that I used the toast to end at the end of the bar to pay my tab and left. I tried my best. Oh, so you did fire Brian. That's what he was. I tried my best and went out of town to support Black businesses and not only pay business, but to tip the staff, seeing as I'm a bartender myself. This experience made it really hard to want to do either or even want to refer to anyone to dine there. We left the restaurant around 5:15, still hungry and pissed off. Girl, I know y'all went to that Bojangles right over there. That Bojangles probably, that's how I stay in business.
That is how that Bojangles stay in business.
I know that Bojangles AI be like, welcome to Bojangles, I'm Bo Linda. And then it'd be like, bitch, you got some motherfucking food. Is it going to be ready or what? Oh, y'all coming from Cocktail the Kitchens? Come on in.
Come on. We understand.
Let me guess, you just want as many tenders as we can put in a basket. Come on in.
Tenders. Come on in.
I know y'all hungry as hell.
with a jumbo sweet tea, we got you, baby.
Yeah, we actually have food in here and prepared to serve it.
Yes. You want the big box? We got the big box look like a suitcase.
Fat Boy Fresh says, had a reservation for 7:45 p.m. By 8:30, they brought out one dish of macaroni.
Holy shit.
Well, then brought my wife's food out while I waited 10 to 15 minutes for my food, which I decided to just go get to go. Because he like, they're like, your food will be out shortly. Put it in a box. Put it in a box.
Yeah, don't waste y'all time.
Don't even unwrap it. You already got plastic silverware. It's fine.
Right? You already got I'm so glad we didn't eat that, because bitch, if you'd have served me some goddamn plastic ass silverware, I'd have sat down. Y'all ain't got no fucking dishwasher.
After paying my bill, we left, and now I'm currently sitting in the Outback restaurant and up the street writing this review.
There's an Outback up the street. That's hilarious.
It's sad because that establishment looked like it has so much potential. Sad, crying face.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
I can read these all day.
They was up there at the Olive Garden.
Right. The worst experience, says Tenair. My friend opened and her first storefront salon, and we just wanted to celebrate. So we came here. I made a reservation for 2 the day before. I changed it to open table to 4, but I needed 5. So as a responsible adult, I called the day before and told them I needed it for 5 people. The girl asked me under what names, and she would change it. Cool. We arrived the next day. We are 2:17 p.m. reservation for 2:30. Arrived early, and the host said we don't have anything available. It will be a wait. No problem. We got sat down at 2:48. Mind you, we sit down, and the server brings 5 glasses. Of them have 5 glasses, and 2 of them have lipstick stains on them.
They must not have a dishwasher.
They not cleaning the glasses.
They don't got no dishwasher. Why don't you go ahead and put them in plastic cups like
girl? You know we only got one pan. Stop asking me to wash dishes. I'm trying to make the macaroni and cheese for the 2 o'clock. But couldn't tell the server because she never came back.
That is a motto. That is you know what? You know what, baby? They get out of the purgatory when they go to the tables. That's what happened. They go to the tables, yeah. And then they get out of the purgatory.
Rachel is trying to escape. She never came back. I watched her walk around on her phone, looking on her tablet, smiling. She wasn't looking on her tablet at the restaurant menu. She was looking at YouTube videos and shorts.
And TikTok.
She was on TikTok. Girl, you seen this? We noticed other servers poured their customers' water out, but guess that was not us. LOL. I don't know what that means. Poured their customers' water out. We ordered a mimosa tour. Took 1 hour to receive. I called the owner over. She says the food is cooked to order. Okay. When the food comes out, but one person. LOL. Wait, what? The food comes out. Oh, but for one person only, I guess. We had to ask 2 different servers just for ketchup because our server was nowhere to be found. Didn't apologize not one time. She just would walk past looking lost. And the one person who never got their food didn't get their food until exactly 1 hour and 36 minutes later. Everybody at the table was done eating and she had to eat by herself. Worst experience, but the manager was super nice. I will say that. Yeah, that apologizer, man.
Yeah, that's a hell of a job. They probably the highest paid person in the joint. The apologizer.
Oh my God, this could be a book.
The apologizers and you know what, baby? You said something and it makes sense. They don't do delivery or DoorDash, and bitch, that's why. They was like, bitch, we can barely feed the people in here. We ain't dealing with to-go orders.
Ain't no takeout.
No.
You order takeout from here. You order it at noon, and you come back and get it at midnight.
And you know what, baby?
Yes.
That's why I believe you when you say they money laundering, because everybody does takeout. Literally, there's nobody that's not on like a DoorDash app or their own app. Like everybody, because for some places that's how you make your money.
Yeah,
they was like, we good. No to go orders.
Oh man,
that's hilarious.
All right,
low vibration establishment.
Low vibration establishment is hilarious.
That is funny.
All right. Do I want to do anything else? Because we did a lot of time on that, and that was fun. Oh God, it's almost an hour already.
I had a good time. That was hilarious.
I'll do a couple more things, and maybe this will be an all banter episode, and we won't really do much news. I saw a white man on my walk yesterday, and he had a baby, and he was pushing the baby in a baby stroller.
Oh.
And I looked up at him, and I realized that white man had a old school logo Redskins hat.
Oh.
Redskins, not Commanders. Redskins, the Native American mascot. And the hat was new. So the hat, it wasn't no old dusty hat. That hat looked like he just bought it not too long ago.
Was the brim still straight?
And all I could think was, that baby gonna be racist.
What else are you?
How can that baby not be racist? That baby gotta be racist. It has no chance unless it just rebels against his daddy. Cause that's a racist choice. You made a conscientious racist choice.
Decisions were made.
Yeah, future racist.
Hilarious.
Another thing that happened. Okay. So yesterday we bought a car. Okay, we say bought a car, but really you bought a loan.
Yes, you did.
We haven't had car payments in a long time because we're just both fine with our cars being old as shit.
Yeah,
it's fine.
I'm like, fuck that payment.
But my car in particular is it's got all this age rust on the paint or whatever. It looks very old. Obviously it works fine because I've always maintained it. I've always taken great care of it. I take it to the dealership and keep it up to date. It's actually worth more than it would ever be worth in a blue book value, just because I've maintained it meticulously. Brakes, engine, everything's there.
Yep, you do that, you get your money's worth out your car.
Yeah, and so, but in the last few years, I've had to do thousands of dollars of repairs to keep it up, and the repairs cost a lot more now. But at any rate, Karen was just the other day or whatever, I think she finally looked at the car and seen it and was just maybe we should look into getting another car. And the way we get cars, please don't write in.
Yeah, we don't care.
Matter of fact, let me preface all this. 0 people write in. We don't want your advice. We don't want
your opinion.
Everyone hates buying cars. Everyone thinks they have all the fucking answers to buying cars.
Yes,
everyone, no matter how you get it, they write how you should have got it a different way, and it's fucked up because that's not the way they normally get it.
Right.
And whatever the payments are, they could have got it better than this and all this stuff. I don't know all that shit. I try to do hassle free.
Yes, I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to haggle.
Yeah, and we've had a good experience with the way we bought cars. We've never bought a brand new car. We always get them used.
Right.
And the last 2 cars we actually got from a rent-a-car sales. Okay, so Hertz. I'm sure other people do it too.
But they do. Hertz Enterprise. Yeah.
Yeah, but you can buy the car from them, and I know the stereotypical thing people say and think, we've done whole episodes on it, but it's mostly because, no offense to y'all, most people are not critical thinkers.
No.
And so people just go rent a car. Oh, I know that car has been fucked to shit. But the way that they sell the cars, they sell them after a couple years. So you're not, typically getting a very old car. 2, I don't know if you guys have ever rented a car, but I can speak for myself, and maybe I'm just a square. I'm petrified of fucking up a rental car.
Right. You don't want to pay them fees. People talking about they fucking. I was like,
everybody's people just fuck over. They did destroy rental cars, and I'm like, I'm afraid to smoke a cigarette in a fucking rental car because that fucking deductible where they hit your ass with that shit afterwards and be like, yeah, well, you came back, it was a scratch on it, $250.
Right.
$400.
Right.
Maybe y'all do that.
Right.
I'm so removed from the idea of that level of luxury that I'm paying to rent a car and I'm fucking the car up. That is crazy to me. This is not like going to play bumper cars at the fucking Carowinds where the car stays there and whatever happens just happens.
Right. Y'all get y'all deposit back like everybody else. Everybody act like they just take these cars and fucking go dirt riding with it. You don't. Stop lying.
Yeah. I think it's it's a funny running joke to people to say that, but obviously when you're saying that, you're basically trying to call me a fucking idiot. And so I have to at least defend my honor and be like, I'm not a fucking idiot. I wouldn't do that. So once again, we've had good experiences. The last 2 cars we bought, they both lasted. Like I said, my last car was a 2011. I'm just getting rid of it in 2025. That's like, I had that car for at least like 10 years, if not longer. Karen's car is still in excellent condition. It's a 2013. And once again, we haven't had to pay a lot for maintenance. She doesn't drive it that often, but anyway, point being, we're like, cool, let's do that again. We go to get the car, and then with the thing, you get like a certain amount of days to drive it and test it out and all this stuff. And if you get like a complete refund if you're like, nah, I don't like this, depending on the miles and the hours. The days, you can just like, we could bring it back today and be like, we want our money back. We just don't like it anymore. Anyway. And for us, it's a huge upgrade because once again, this is a 2023 car.
Every time we get a new car, I be like, "Ooh, we had a 99 in the 2000s."
Yeah, we not used to nice things. So
we are not.
This might as well be motherfucking a spaceship to us.
I'm right.
Like last car I had to buy aftermarket radio just so I could do Bluetooth with my iPhone. Now I get in there, it's like, you want Apple CarPlay? I'm like, what the fuck is? I got a Google CarPlay. What the fuck is that? Right. I didn't even know that was a thing on my phone. So anyway, we go there and we buy the car from the dealership. But y'all,
this was an adventure.
This is the blackest car buying experience I've ever had in my life. Ever.
Everybody in it was black.
Everybody was black pretty much. There was one white lady that came later, but we didn't. We talked to her. As always, the thing I don't like about car buying is even when you try to go through like places where you don't have to haggle. I already knew what my credit was good. Our credit is good. We already knew like what the payment plan needed to be, all that type of stuff. And to their credit, and obviously maybe they're just such great salespeople that they just finessed us and we'll never know. But to their credit, as far as the things I wanted out of the deal, we got them all. It wasn't like a negotiation thing. It just literally is like, check this or don't check this, right? But to their credit, they didn't really try to upsell us, which I was a little surprised.
Right.
Like, I think the dude at first was gonna upsell us on a bunch of shit because I saw like all the options. You get this and you do that, but I could kind of not really understand everything he was saying. He was like a nice dude, but he had like he just went on these tangents when he was talking.
Yes, he did.
And it didn't feel like I'm trying to confuse you. It just felt like he just be talking.
Yes. He's one of them people. Because I used to be this person, y'all, I'm a talker, but over the years, I've kind of understood myself. He's one of them people where silence drives them nuts. And so anytime there was silence and we would just be all looking at each other, me and Roger would be on our phone, it was like that silence just killed him. So he had like something had to consistently be in the air.
This is the thing I hate about the car buying process, is that essentially it's just a lot of paperwork, running some credit, getting your stuff on file and then you pay whatever you're supposed to pay, right? But it just takes so long. This agency gotta reach back to you. You gotta go run this thing. You gotta print this out. You gotta look this up. And so something that you would, in my opinion, I would love, and I get it. It's not feasible what I want, but I'm just telling y'all how I would like it. Or actually, there's places that do this, but maybe it wouldn't go as well as I thought, because I think they have Carvana where you can just like literally go pick a car up off the lot after you do everything. Anyway, my point being, the amount of time that it takes. We got there at 9. We ended up leaving about noon.
Yes,
we were there for like 3 hours.
Yeah,
and
maybe longer than that. Yeah,
I was noon.
Okay.
Most of the time with the 3 hours was us sitting around being talked at.
Yeah.
Now look, they were polite, very nice people. They're actually very entertaining people. So I didn't mind that. It's just the process. It's like, I would like a process where you just go, all right, we got to run this thing. We'll be back in 15 minutes. And I'm cool with that. Like, you don't actually have to entertain me and do like a bit. I'm cool. So yeah, it was like, it was already kind of some interesting stuff. So it was like, all right, Buddy's telling us all these stories and stuff. First of all, we get there, he's not there yet. Comes out, something happened with his car. He had some sort of emergency on the way to work. So he's not there yet. So then they're stalling us till he gets there.
Right.
So they take us on the test drive while he's still coming in. Apparently his car stalled or fucked up, whatever happened to it, just a few miles up the road. So it won't be too long. We go on the test drive. Test drive is fine, but once again, a little awkward because I have not driven a new car really, except for that time I drove to Raleigh in a minute. Right. So, they're just saying stuff and I'm like, I don't know what that means.
I was asking that man all types of questions. What did this mean? Ooh, it got this feature on it.
Yeah. And I'm like kind of afraid to drive it at first. And I'm like, okay, I don't want to just pull out and then halfway through you be like, don't forget to hit the flux capacitor. I'm like, what the fuck? We didn't talk about that.
Right.
We didn't talk about that, buddy.
I didn't know that was a thing. And you know what? Because we live in the 99s. I was like, the features you see on TV. I was like, oh, it got the I seen the little thing on the mirrors. I was like, oh, so it lets you know when somebody on the side of you. He was like, yes, ma'am. I was like, it let you know this. I was like, I know he was like, the fuck she asked me these basic ass questions. I was like, well, bitch, I want to know.
I mean, it was just, I was fine with, like, this is one of those times where Karen's with me and I'm okay with it because they have, their job is to do a bunch of awkward talking through us waiting for all the stuff to fill out to get the car. And I don't want to do it. I don't think we need to have to do it. We don't need to be friends. We don't need to be enemies. We just need to be professional. If it's not a question that's kind of germane to like
to what we trying to accomplish,
what we're doing, I just don't see why we're going through all that, but I don't mean in a bad way. Like, right. I liked these people. Honestly, it was a great experience because they were so black and it was so fun, and I'm gonna get into that in a second. But for the record, you don't need to like tell me about shit as we're driving. Like, you don't need to be like, oh, that used to be a Winn-Dixie. I don't care. I don't care. I just need to know, like, oh, that's the left turn signal. Okay. So this auto stop thing, some new shit I never heard of. You get to the stoplight, you brake to a complete stop. You can take your foot off the brake. It just hold it for you. That's some new shit to me. I'm like, oh, that's cool.
Brand new shit to me.
Oh, the parking brake is a switch in the middle of the console now. That's dope.
That's new. I'll be like, oh, if you put it in a certain mode, they don't got like the shift at the feet. It's in the steering wheel. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, you can do auto or manual or whatever. It's it's like cool. That kind of shit was cool to me. But once again, so that's all to stall us. We do the drive. We get back. Now the dude is there. We sit with him, and I tell you, this man can talk.
Yes, this is where the adventure started. Yes,
this man was giving us so many stories. It felt like the Arabian Nights that. Well, like every story led to another story in the middle of the story, and I don't think we ever got to the bottom of the first story. I still don't know
what really happened.
All the stories. It's just like I'm no exaggeration. One of the stories was like, I almost got in a wreck coming here, but the Lord did this because he's like real religious and his wife's a pastor somewhere or something. I'm not religious at all, we'll get to that by the end. But he's like, and I just, cause when my boy was sick, he got sick, he was in the hospital and he had to go, we almost lost him and stuff. He got sick and da. And I'm like, oh man, oh no. And he's like, yeah, well, that was 2019. Now he this, that, and the other, and he's stronger and stuff. I'm like, oh, okay, good for him. Glad he's okay. He's showing us pictures of his kid and stuff. I'm like, that's cool. That's not really the same thing as talking about the interest rate on the loan, but okay, all right. Like, I don't want to be a dick and be like, man, what this got to do with the car? But this started from like him talking about almost getting in a wreck on the way to the thing. Then it turned into like his son had a thing. Then he told us about a story where like a man he knew died in his arms who was 47.
I don't know how we got on that story.
I don't know what that had to do with the first story.
Then he started talking about how he was having nightmares. I was like, and in my mind I'm like, how did we get here? Because I'm listening, so I was like, none of these stories are connecting.
It felt a little like, I hope he never hear this, because I don't want him to take this as negative.
Right.
But I have to do my job and be funny and tell the truth. That's what I do here, guys. And at the end of the day, we did get the car. He get the credit, but it felt like when you go to the barbershop and they had an empty chair. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm. You know when to be the first chair?
That one person with the empty chair.
Chair always be empty. Nobody ever.
Everybody else sitting down waiting.
Barbershop be packed.
And you just go ahead and get the haircut anyway. You like, fuck it, I gotta do something by 5. And every time you be like, I wish I had waited.
I should have waited. I should have waited.
So he was like not necessarily explaining stuff that well. And then when I would ask for clarification, the explanation wasn't better to me. So like that, like we had to ask somebody else later to find out the details. But like apparently part of the, and this is like, maybe there's some shit all y'all got. I don't know. It's new to me. Apparently there's a warranty for like oil changes and maintenance where like you don't pay for oil changes. Like you pay for this warranty thing and then you go to the dealership every 3 months and be like, the oil change is covered by my oil change insurance. And they just fucking change the oil and that's it.
Yeah, like this car so new we even got gap insurance. We normally don't have to get that because we normally get much older cars.
Yeah. But the point being, like, he's not necessarily 100% explaining it. He's saying it like we already know what it is.
Yes.
And I'm like, so he's like, yes, y'all want to get this because you can get the oil changes. I'm like, the oil changes, don't we get, I get my oil change every 3 months. He's like, with this though, you get the oil change, you get it for every 3 months. You can get it for 7,000 miles, 10,000 miles, however miles you want. I still don't know what you're selling me. Are you selling? Do y'all have a mechanic that does the oil changes?
Yes, it was. Do I need to bring it back here?
Do I need to drive my car all the way back up across town to get the oil change at this one location? He's like, no, a lot of people accept it. I don't. Yes, I'll take it. That's how he was winning. I was just like, yes,
I'll take it.
Because at this point, you don't have to keep explaining it if I just say yes. I don't know what I said yes to. Something about oil changes. I guess I'll look at this and figure it out when I get home.
Yes, and also the thing is, while we was doing the paperwork, he would get to a point where he needed to go somewhere else, and every time he left the desk, it was an additional 20 minutes.
Yes, but with new stories when he came back.
Brand new stories.
And then another thing that happened. So I'm like, what about my old car? Could I just like maybe trade it in for like, you know, even if it's just a little bit of money, but just trade it in as because what am I now? We got 3 cars, and
right.
I assume I won't be driving this car that much, even though I've kept it up to maintenance and it's a really good car and
good condition.
Like it's a honestly. So anyway, he goes, and like when I say really good car, I mean like the tires are new. You know what I'm saying? Like shit that you just typically wouldn't do if you were gonna get rid of a car. I've been like, nah, I better go ahead and get that. Oh, the radiator has something. Let's just go ahead and get a new radiator on there. That kind of shit.
Oh, that belt needs to be changed. Go ahead and change that belt.
Like
yes, sir.
It honestly could make more sense for me to just keep this car. Not that I want to keep it 100%, but just like it might just make more sense to keep the car just out of the fact that it's just a good car with a fucked up paint job at this point.
All right.
If I knew a way to get it painted and it didn't cost an arm and a leg, I would have just done that. I know you can get wraps and shit, but all that stuff was like $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, and by that time it's like, okay, might as well get a car that's in this decade. Anyway, point being, I'm like, yeah, I might get rid of my car. Can I? What could I do if I want to trade it in? And he was just like, well, I mean, I could buy the car for you. You know, I got a son.
And that came out of nowhere.
And I'm like, what? Are we side dealing during the thing? I'm like, nah. I was like, I'll think about it. But I'm like, in my mind, like, no, I don't want to then have to sell my car not to just the part of this transaction, like on the side. And I know some people will be like, well, you can get more money, sell on Craigslist. I don't want to do that. So anyway, I'm like, okay, so now that's off the table. I'm like, I guess Karen's driving the car back home because there's no way I'm just leaving my car here.
Right.
And
not unless they were going to apply that to the cost of the car.
And that's a bunch of paperwork and you gotta go to the bank and shit. It's not that simple. So I'm like, okay, whatever. Not the car, we'll put it on CarMax. Who gives a fuck? So we go through all the paperwork. Then this woman, I forget her name. I shouldn't even tell y'all her name. But she was so fun and so nice.
Wouldn't she though?
Now the thing is, with this unorthodox job that I have, there's the good and the bad.
Yes,
love working for myself. Love what we do. Very proud of what we do, especially in Charlotte, especially for black folk, all that shit. But
yeah, downside.
When I'm filling out a credit application and employment is the black guy who tips or TBGWT LLC, but occupation podcaster.
It confuses everybody. When we go to the bank,
hold on, it's not confusing. That's not my problem. This is 2025.
Oh, it's not confusing.
Everybody know what the fuck a podcast is now.
Yeah, you could ask a bunch of questions.
2013, 2010, when this shit started, that was the what's a podcast? Now everybody knows. What happens instead is now everybody gives me and Karen the unofficial ideas for the podcast they want to do.
Yeah, that's true. And a lot of times you can tell that they know nothing about the podcast. A lot of times they'll skip over me and just start talking to you. And
whether they know about it or not. I'm not asking them to look it up.
Oh, right.
But whether they know about it or not, I assume, even if they do know about it, they're going to finesse it in. They're not going to be like, I was listening to your show and I disagree or I love this.
Right.
It's a business transaction and, I guess the race shouldn't come up in it, really, if we're being honest. Anyway, they started doing the first dude, he was like, I want to start a podcast and I'm trying to get the people at my job, like one of his coworkers, he wanted them to get the equipment so he could sit down and tell his stories to the podcast. Now, I'm gonna be honest, them stories would be fascinating, but I can't imagine any of them will ever get to the end. I don't know what that podcast, I feel like every week at the end of his podcast, people gonna
everybody
be like,
gonna be confused.
Should we come back to see if he finished the first story or the third one?
I'm not sure.
Did he say somebody got killed?
I don't know. They were like, we just like to hear you talk.
Yeah, but so he was like, I'm gonna start my podcast and what all do I need? And I'm like, I don't want to go through the equipment.
Right.
Now I'm working.
I
went from coming here to buy a car to now I have to be like, okay, so what you're gonna want to get is a soundboard. Now I would recommend that you go with a USB soundboard. You're gonna go with the multi-mix, so you're gonna need at least 4 inputs on that bad boy. Okay, you don't
wanna... should I be charging you for my services now?
Right. Now what kind of webcam we talking about here? So I'm like, oh man. But then everybody's telling us about wanting to do a podcast. Now the other woman who did it, she was very funny.
She was hilarious.
Very charismatic.
Yes, very educational. She was telling us what the hell he was talking about too.
Well, as soon as we came in, because we talked to her first because the dude hadn't showed up, and she likes to talk. She's like Karen. She's extra, and she's like a push. Like, I'm gonna be me. Which y'all know I love. I love I'm gonna be me ass person. And so she's like, I love to talk. Sometimes that was what her boss was like. Yeah, she loves to talk. She always doing this. She was like, and that's what we love about her. And she was like, no, y'all don't. Y'all be telling me to shut up. And I was like, see, I appreciate her.
She's self-aware.
She keep it real. And so they turn on the TV and stuff, but she's like giving us the monologue the whole time. Like, I had to have some noise in the background. Us people that love to talk, we just need some da-da-da. She's just talking the whole time. And she's like, y'all got a podcast. I'm gonna start a podcast. My friends always like, you so funny. I think I'm a little funny. I need to start this podcast, da-da-da.
She was talking at that pace too, literally that pace. Like, me and Roger just glazed at her because she just like, I'm not even gonna allow y'all to interrupt.
Yeah. And so like I said, she ends up being the person that we have to do all our paperwork with, and which was fine because she just talked us through all of it. Printer stopped working because all printers stopped working.
Yeah, eventually. They do. Had to go get ink.
Yeah, and all that stuff. But she's telling us about podcasts. She saw Sinners. She loved Sinners. She wanted to talk to us about how she saw Sinners and stuff. She started bringing up not liking Trump and shit, so she was definitely in our wheelhouse. Like I said, she may have listened to the podcast and just finessed it in because she was on point with pretty much everything we do over here. Yes. I was like, yeah, absolutely. Like, I don't even feel like I have to say much. I'm just like, you right. And yesterday when they called me about Friday, because that's when I went on their website, when they called me, they did call me back to be like, so what is the Blackout Tips podcast. I was like, it's a podcast. It's my business. It's how I get paid. And she's like, okay. And so for the business, do you put that? I was like, no. Oh no, put TBGWT LLC. That it sound professional and it's less hassle. But that's what it stands for. And she was like, oh okay, well that's cool. You know, da da da. So they could have listened to it between then and Saturday.
And you know what? And also, when we walked in on Saturday, you could tell that some of them had been kind of anticipating for us to be there, because we walked in, they was like, tomorrow's y'all that couple.
Yeah, they was.
I was thinking they must have been talking about us.
Yeah, like they must have Googled or something to see. I mean, I'm assuming they probably Googled just to see, like, is this motherfucker full of shit? Like,
right.
See a drug dealer claiming he's got a podcast,
right? I mean, we got one of them tax identification numbers. We ain't lying to you.
I know, but you know, I'm sure people fake shit all the time.
True.
Or hide stuff or whatever, but or they say I run a cocktails and lounge hookah place, and they really don't. Anyway, point being, she was nice. We went through all the paperwork, we filled everything out back there, and she was able to explain the stuff that I was like, every time I asked this man a story, it just turned into like, you know, my wife is a pastor. I'm like, what?
What they got to do with
I just want to
anything?
know the warranty. Is it so? When you say drivetrain, what does that mean?
I mean, what does it cover? What does it not cover? And on top of that, the rate that he gave us, she ended up dropping the rate. It was even lower.
Yeah, but for me, I don't know. That could be part of the hustle. I don't know.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, that's why I say I felt like, now I'll never know for sure. I don't work there. But I felt like they looked out for us in a couple of areas, because he at first had started doing all this upselling stuff. But I think after talking to us for a while or whatever, he actually brought it back down. So like, because you know they do that thing was like, if you get this warranty and then this thing and then this thing and then the option of this thing, and I'm like, I have AAA, so I don't need the AAA through y'all.
Right.
I have, you know, we have good insurance. Like there's certain things we don't necessarily need. I understand gap insurance. I definitely would want that. And so when he came back, without us having to talk him down, he just was like, here are the two things that, it was the lowest tiers, like the things you have to have.
Right.
And then this other warranty for oil change shit that I just was like, I don't feel like hearing him explain again because I don't understand it. That was the one that I was like, just give it to us. I don't care. But she explained it. And I was like, oh, this actually is dope. So we we just sign up for this. We get the oil change. We can get key fobs replaced. We can get a bunch of shit that you can get done. And I'm just like, oh, okay, cool. Well, just say less. I do want that.
Right. This is what happened when you upgrade. I was like, I never had a car where I could just roll up there and they'd be like, we got you.
Yeah, because it's not dealership. So like if we bought it from a dealership, that's the point of buying it from a dealership. You just drove up to the Nissan or wherever and fix it. You know? Anyway, so we sign all the paperwork, we do everything. She's very funny, extremely charismatic. They were both very charismatic, but she was really good at that job.
Yeah, you could tell.
And filling all the space and having jokes and keeping us at ease, because I think buying a car is nerve-wracking. It's moving, buying a car, buying a house. Some of the top 3 nerve-wracking experiences everyone has to go through.
Some of the most stressful too, yes.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Nerve-wracking, stressful. So yeah, it wasn't the process was very easy and not stressful for us, but it did take a long time. And then also we did it first thing in the morning, so people was probably coming in and all the kinds of shit. Anyway, we go to leave after signing everything and stuff. Go ahead.
Before you tell your story, we go to leave. And, Dave was telling us, congratulations, blah, 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 blah. This white, because...
I was going to break... That's what I was going to say. Okay. Go ahead. You got it. No, you got it.
Because of my personality, my black ass, I ain't never met a stranger ass nigga who I am. And I just speak to everybody. Some white woman mistake us for a couple that she seen in there the other day. I just went on along with it. She was like, didn't we see you in here yesterday? I said, and walked on out the door.
First of all, it's been 3 hours. It's been 3 hours, y'all.
I was just trying to get out the door.
This is as long as it takes to get food at that cocktails and
lounge
joint,
place.
Okay? At that low vibration establishment.
Would it just got a side of macaroni and cheese and a ribeye.
I'm ready to fucking go.
Me too.
Okay, I need to piss. I'm ready to just go. Okay, but that's not gonna happen for a couple more reasons that I'm about to explain in a second. But this white lady, thinking we all look alike or whatever, and being like, I saw y'all in here yesterday, so y'all arguing in the car, me too. And I'm like, I've never been in this place before in my life. I don't know you. I don't know these people. But that's what I'm thinking inside. But outside, I went, oh, yeah. Thank you, girl. I'll get you that car now. Go ahead, man.
That's what I did and walked right on past that lady.
Yeah, I just kept it moving. I was just thanking God that Karen didn't even try to correct it because
I was ready to go too, baby. I was like,
thought she was going to do the like, man, I was in here yesterday. And then we're going to have a whole nother fucking talk. No, thank you.
I was letting that lady talk. In my mind, I was like, she got us mistake. Well, we just the wrong Negroes. Mm-hmm.
So that was one thing. Then,
poor baby.
This is where
I said bye-bye, and I was like, Lord, I might not see my husband for another hour. I went on to the house.
All right, Karen's spoiling things. So this is where it becomes the blackest. Like it was already one of the blackest experiences I've ever had in my life with buying a car or whatever. That was not hard to top. We haven't bought a lot of cars, but it was very black. I felt very at home, very comfortable. But it got a little over comfortable because why did the dude that sold us the car, the empty barber chair, why did Buddy be like, hey, so you give me a ride to Meineke real quick? I'm like, first of all, y'all all work here on a lot of cars.
Yes, you do.
Any of y'all should be able to theoretically hop in one of these cars, which you all have the keys to.
Yes, and smack a tag on it and go on about your business.
And drive you to Meineke, which you say is only a few minutes up the street. First ride in my new car, it's going to be giving you a ride to your old car.
Oh, that's right, because he had broke down.
This feels like...
I forgot. He told us 45 stories.
Just don't feel quite right. Now, I did appreciate that, like, the car payments were reasonable. Mm-hmm. Like, honestly, they were much lower than I thought they would be.
Yes, they were.
Shout out to Good Credit, but still... They were much lower than I thought they would be. I've heard the nightmares. I heard what y'all are paying for cars out here, and that was one of the reasons I wasn't going to get one.
Chad, if they'd hit us with that, I'd be like, fuck no, keep it.
People talking about $700,000 a month for a car. That's rent, some places.
Right.
Anyway. So I'm very thankful. I'm happy to get the car, but I'm also relieved. But also, I just want to go home. I actually have other things I need to do. I still need to work out. Still need to do our podcast, whatever. But what was I gonna say? No. Thanks for selling us the car. Thanks for not trying to upsell us and get us on the fucking deal. Appreciate you. Thanks for not giving us a 75% interest loan that I heard all these nightmares about. But also, fuck you. Good, get there yourself. So he comes over like, can I get this ride? I said, yeah, no problem, man. I got you. And then he hears the white lady who said, whatever, and that mistook us. And he goes to me, he goes, y'all wasn't in here yesterday. That woman think y'all somebody else. They think we all look alike. Now, he was immediately back in my good graces, okay? Between that woman that was shitting on Trump in the back, that immediately won my heart over. I'm like, I will sign anything, man. You know what? Fuck that nigga. I agree. And then between this and that, him being like, oh, Missy Ann ass, I'm like, yes, she was Missy Ann up in there. That's so hilarious. I'm giving him a ride back, and he's, of course, talking about his wife in the church, and he's talking about his son again. Well, now he pulls out some new pictures because he told us about the ordeal his son went through, and it was a happy story.
Yeah, he had a picture book before. Yeah, a whole ass photo album.
Yeah, his son. Yeah, he actually literally had a photo album. Mm-hmm. And he showed us the dude that died at 47. It was crazy. So now I'm like, okay, cool. Your son, like he's happy, he's healthy. He's like, yeah, he's actually visiting college or doing some camp or something. And he's like, here's a picture of him and me on a boat. I'm like, all right, cool. That's dope. It looks, he's gained all his weight back from, he showed me pictures of him in the hospital when he could not he could only move his arm, he couldn't talk. He showed me pictures of him learning to walk again. I'm like, man, this dude's really trying to play on my heartstrings. He really want this used car. Like he want the 2011 bad boy. And he's like, you sell that thing to somebody else, they just gonna give you $250, $500. I mean, you could, for me, let me know how much, what you want for it. I'm like, I don't know. Like I have to think about it. I'll talk to you later if I come to that conclusion, right? And so then as we're getting closer to the monarchy or whatever, he shows me another picture of his son with his leg turned to the left. And I'm like, what's that? Now, keep in mind, I'm also driving. I'm like, I feel like you shouldn't be distracting me with these pictures while I'm driving.
I know, my brand new vehicle.
I feel like I'm being very meticulous today. This brand new car that I definitely don't want to wreck coming off the lot. But he shows me these pictures of his son. He says his son had his leg broken by a kid that did a wrestling move on him or something in the bathroom.
Oh no!
Sound like some bullying. Like he said the school kind of covered it up. Said it was a white kid. So now I'm like, damn, your kid done got like hate crimed. And he's like, that's why I like to get this car for him. He's a good kid. Blah blah blah. And I'm thinking to myself like, well, this is a very hard pitch. Because now if I say no, I'm saying no to the hate crime victim kid that just need a car to get around.
Right. Now you look like the ass.
He had an x-ray. I'm like, you keep all this proof? At this point, I'm not gonna front. At this point, I'm like, this gotta be hustle. This gotta be a hustle. He gotta do this to everybody that got a car that's like, well, I do want to turn my old car. I think this one of the men that in his neighborhood got 47 cars in his yard.
I hope not.
And he be selling them on the side. I think he one of them people. Like, we all had that dude in our neighborhood.
You were like, where you get all
it's
these
like,
cars?
how the fuck he get all these cars?
How you get all these cars?
It's like, oh, Mr. Cal got all them cars because he been showing people pictures of some kid that he say his son and be like his leg broke. And then people be like, well, I'll give you the car for free. Don't even worry about paying for it. And then he be like, you want to buy a car? $50. You want to
buy a car?
I'm like, how he selling cars for $50? That's how.
Yeah,
because people just giving them to him. They crying. They can't drive them to Monarchy because they crying so hard.
He ain't got because he ain't got no upfront investments.
Then he invited me to his church.
Oh no.
Yeah, and I just told him that at that point he was getting out the car, and I just had to tell him like, hey man, I'm not going to church. Like this, it stops right there. Like he's like, we got church now my wife preach every third or fifth Sunday or something like that. I was like, I don't know how many fifth Sundays there are, but I won't be going to any. No offense. Sounds lovely. He's like, you can follow it on Instagram and Facebook. I won't be. I'm not even gonna bullshit you, player. This is over. This transaction has ended today.
Mm-hmm.
Good luck at the Monarchy. You know what I mean? Now I'm assuming that his boy that worked there just come pick him up from the Monarchy. There never was a car. It was all a hustle to try to get me to sell my shit for extremely low cost, trying to help out a black hate crime kid that may or may not exist. That could be AI. I don't know. I don't know what was true and what was not. That man was too good at his job for me to believe anything.
And we're already paying you. I'm not trying to go put you on a payment plan.
Karen, he told me, I must have told you this yesterday. He said, we could work out something for the car even if we have to do a payment plan.
Oh, no.
I said, nigga, I'm on a payment plan with you.
Right. Yes, we are. We already
What do you think we just did? That's not how any of this works.
Mm-mm.
No. I can't be paying you a car payment and then being like, hey, it's me, Rod. I sent you get my car payment? Yeah, I just got it. So I was going to wonder, can I get my car payment?
Right.
Because you owe me some money as well.
Mm-hmm.
What do I do if you default on the loan? You know what? Let me run your credit real quick.
What's your Equifax?
Let me see your... What?
Right?
I should have been like, now what's your income? I should have pulled out a pad. I should have pulled out like some paperwork and be like, now what's your income? I need you to fill this out.
Can I have your W-9?
Yeah, you got a W-2. I'm going to need to make a copy since we selling shit over here now off the record on the side. I don't want to get you in trouble at your job, so I'm not, I won't say like I said, I'm not saying names or where we got it just because I don't want people to, I don't want no one to get in trouble. I think it's a funny story and this is not like an outrage or anger thing. I truly, I'm very happy with the car, very happy with the service. and it was a fun time. But still, it was so funny. We had to tell y'all these stories.
Yeah, because we were there for so long.
Yeah.
And it, like I say, and it would be stuff where sometimes I think he forgot what he was in the middle of doing sometimes, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm supposed to get this." I was like, "Okay, gonna be gone another 15." It became a running joke with me and Roderick.
But yeah, it was it was a very black ass time yesterday. I had a good time. All right, I don't have any other stuff. We'll skip all the news and stuff for the rest of the show. I do have one last thing to talk about though.
What's up?
And it's another one of these, like, this is a very random episode, so let's just keep it random. I'll just have the AI throw the ads in wherever it feels like.
Okay.
I did want to do one more doing it for the gram.
Okay. All right. Double doing it for the gram.
For the gram. For the gram. For the gram. For the gram. For the gram. For the gram. For the gram. For the gram. Now, we did not get a lot of answers to this one because I just put it up, and I did ask it on Twitter, but I doubt that there's going to be a ton of answers to this on Twitter even.
Okay.
But now that most of y'all have probably hopefully seen Sinners, or at least you know what Sinners is about, so this won't be a major spoiler. But it's about vampires. It's in the trailer. And it does operate by some of the vampire rules.
Right.
And one of those rules is that vampires must be allowed in. Right? You have to let them
permission.
in. And so it made me think, because some of the like funniest stuff happens in the movie when vampires are trying to be let into the event.
Yeah, they trying to frame it all types of ways to be let in.
So it made me think, who would have been the funniest possible actor to cast to play a locked out vampire in Sinners?
They can't get in, like, and they trying their best to get you to let them in.
And why is it Mike Epps? Because for
That's
me, it's
good.
Mike Epps. I don't know
That's
how.
Hilarious.
Now, there's some other suggestions that will come up that are also very good, if not better. But Mike Epps, to me,
somebody says Walter Goggins.
Well, hold on. You already jumped into the answers, but I'm just saying, Mike Epps to me make me laugh just by smiling sometimes.
He's funny, and
I could just see him, even once he admits to being a vampire, still being funny.
Yes.
Like, oh, I almost got your ass, boy. You were gonna let me bite. You were gonna let me bite you. What? You still gonna let me in? Like, I could already see him like killing that shit. But yeah, other people brought up, and I was thinking mostly black actors. But yeah, Walton Goggins, of course, would be. He's amazing in everything anyway. So of course that would kill. I was thinking a lot about just black Southern, who could do black Southern ridiculousness or black ridiculousness. So people brought up other people that I think are great. I'll just go through the list. JB Smoove.
JB Smoove would be good. I don't know if you've heard this or not, but somebody was asking JB Smoove about Curb. And this is something that I've always thought about him and Curb, but I actually couldn't confirm it. He confirmed it for me. He basically say they give them a.
Oh yeah, this is how they film Curb.
Okay,
it's not germane to just JB Smoove. Every single actor, every scene.
Okay,
they give you the frame of the scene, and it's all improv.
Right.
There may be a line or two that they tell you, like, make sure you bring up the thermostat or something.
Right.
But they just film it and play around until they get. That's why Curb is one of my top comedies of all time ever.
Yes, because he said he told him I'm gonna get in that ass, and they say cut, and he say, What does that mean?
Yeah.
Like, are you trying to insult me?
Yeah, it's so good. It's so
hilarious.
Good. Like, and it gets that real reaction on camera, and it hits.
Because they never really ready, right?
Yeah. Like, I can't even imagine some of it. When Crazy Eyes Killer says, "Are we cool, they law?" I don't know how they don't just break character every scene.
Yes.
But anyway, JB Smoove, he on my top 5 motherfuckers that would be
of
hilarious.
all time. He funny in fucking real life. He funny in animation.
I don't know if SNL has enough black people to even be able to do a sketch like this, but that would be funny as a bunch of different famous black people trying to play vampires need to be let in.
Mm-hmm.
The big one, someone said Jamie Foxx. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely Jamie Foxx. I mean, powerhouse. Cat Williams was one for me where I was like, that's one of the ones.
That one would be hilarious.
Cat Williams trying to get let in. Oh my God. Oh, I could. Oh yeah, absolutely.
And I want him to be dressed as a pimp named Slickback.
Yeah. Right. Now, when y'all gonna let me in this juke joint? Like,
yeah, that's what I want him dressed as.
Now, come on. I know it's some bitches in there or whatever. He's just like, Cat Williams is too funny not to let in. Someone brought up Eddie Griffin. Although it's been a long time since I've seen Eddie Griffin in anything.
Right, it's been a long time. But when he was at his peak, yes.
Yeah, it's probably been a little too long for me to do that. And then on YouTube, Roy Wood Jr. That would be good. Funny. Roy Wood Jr. would be good. He could do it. He from down there.
He would be hilarious.
You know? Oh man. Yeah, I could absolutely see that. Come on, let me just hold $20 or whatever. I can see that. Chris Redd, that's a sleeper one, but he is fun. He could do it. Chris Redd could do it. Absolutely. Someone else brought up Cat Williams, and then someone replied they co-signed Cat Williams. But yeah, it made me think about that. You know, like Wanda Sykes. There was some other. I wonder if like some of these newer influencers, like could Drewski would be a funny one. To try to get in or whatever. So yeah, that was just like a funny little thing to think about. I felt like that was one more thing I was gonna say, and now I forgot what it was.
Was it related to this or something else?
No, it was a completely different random thought that I had, and now for some reason I can't remember what the fuck I was thinking. But it was like one more funny thing. But anyway, yeah, I just y'all think about that. Who would be the funniest? You know, I'm going with black people, but it could be anybody. I guess it could, you know, Walton Goggins would be cool too, but it felt like they needed to be black for the particular scenes that I'm thinking about.
Right, because to get into the house, right?
Yeah, like they wasn't letting white people in. It didn't fucking matter. So that, you know, that was I remember the last thing I was thinking. Oh my God. Have you seen this? On Twitter, someone said, Dream Chasing Mike said, I think 100 niggas could beat one gorilla. Everybody just got to be dedicated to the shit.
No, that gorilla fuck all 100 of y'all up. Do people not understand how strong goddamn gorilla is? Gorillas will fuck all y'all up.
It led to some of the funniest this is one of those moments that's one of the funniest black Twitter things ever. Keke Palmer. Oh my God, that's so good. Brooklyn Shoe Babe. Someone said another one that I thought about but didn't want to say on social media because I feel like dealing with the pushback. Tiffany Haddish, top 5.
Somebody said Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart, obviously,
yeah,
top 5.
Somebody said Terrence Howard.
Oh, Terrence Howard trying to get in. Oh, but see, he wouldn't play it funny, but it would be funny.
Yeah, somebody said Michael.
Come on, man, let me in there. I know y'all got some good drinks in there, man. Come on, you old shady ass nigga.
I see Keith Davis. I see Ludacris. Somebody else said George Wallace. I'm just kind of scrolling through right now.
But yeah, this question led to some of the funniest shit I've seen on Twitter in a minute.
I haven't seen that. That's hilarious.
I see it every time I log in, probably because it's in my algorithm. But like people have been sharing memes. The gorilla going into the club after smoking 100 dumb motherfuckers. And they got somebody in the gorilla suit dancing.
That's hilarious. Yeah, he fuck all y'all up.
Yeah, they said they put Kevin Hart on the pivot.
You hear what you're saying out loud, bro?
You hear what you're saying out loud?
The reactions were so good. Me and my homeboy switching sides after seeing the first nigga turn to a burger patty.
Hey, what the fuck?
Them dancing with the gorilla. This is a dude. They said, I believe in y'all, but keep this in mind when y'all gearing up. Apparently, this TikTok dude actually tried to answer this question, it seems.
I can tell you right now, I would not join a modern day hunting party of men because the question is 100 men versus one full grown silverback gorilla. And there are people out there like this that are saying that 100 guys would win. And no, they wouldn't. Just flat out no. A gorilla's skin You can't bite through it. Their bones, somewhere between 2 and 4 times as thick and dense as ours.
Ooh.
Their hand, like their grip force, is something like 1,300 pounds. That means that with one hand, they could crush your skull. But dudes, this is what you're fighting. When they stand up, they are 6 feet tall. They weigh about 400 pounds on average. They can lift, press, or pull somewhere between 2,000 to 4,000 pounds. For some perspective, that's enough to tear your arm or your leg off. There's guys out here trying to rationalize this, being like, well, we're endurance animals and all that stuff. This thing could operate at 1/4 of its strength and still body bag you. And we haven't even addressed the fact that even if you get close enough, you can't damage it. Thick skin, super dense bones, wrapped in an insane amount of muscle. You couldn't hit this hard enough to break anything. Like, its femur is twice the size of yours. I want you to look at that skull. That skull could headbutt you and cave your face in, to say nothing.
Yeah.
Woo. Yeah, you talking about like, we got hands, you got hands? You better come in. If you ain't come with no guns, y'all gonna lose.
When all 100 of us line up and the gorilla make eye contact with me first.
You looking at me?
Me and my friends, after seeing the gorilla's 97th kill from a distance.
Could happen to us. It could have done, but it didn't.
Look at they leaving. Oh my God. Nah, that's crazy. So it's that me convincing the last person beside me to fight the gorilla after 98 others died. And it's Michael Irvin.
That's all. Listen to everybody. Nobody believes in you. What are you prepared to do about it? Don't let no one come into your house, take your meal, do what you need to do today. I'm not nervous. I'm just telling you.
That's fucking hilarious. That's hilarious. Oh, that was a great clip.
Oh my God. When y'all down 62 men out of 100 and the gorilla start using his ultimate.
Nobody cares.
Oh, the gorilla. Like it's like a video game, like when they do the celebrations and stuff. Me telling the story of how a gorilla bodied 100 niggas in 3 minutes is Soulja Boy on Vlad TV.
I hop out, I start shooting. Bow, 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 bow. Shot the nigga. Bow, shot his ass. Bow, 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 bow. All the niggas run out the door, they run out the door.
Me when the gorilla effortlessly tells through 50 niggas for a warm-up.
Go home and get the gun. Go home. Run.
Go home and get the gun. Fuck this shit. That's hilarious.
This is so funny. When I've seen 99 niggas get massacred and I've got to confuse the gorilla, I'm just as mad as he is.
Oh no!
It's Steve Harvey.
Hilarious.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Somebody said me after the gorilla kills 99. This is my favorite one. He started walking around like an ape. He
Get down on all fours.
That's my favorite one.
That's fucking hilarious.
It's no way, man. It's no fucking way.
What that would say?
When the gorilla swinging one of the niggas like a bat, taking everybody out, and they try to push me in to jump him.
You get your fucking hands off me.
Jamie Foxx with Denzel.
You get your hands off me. That's hilarious. That's good.
Oh my God. The gorilla after stacking 98 bodies.
Yeah. You know what? Here go 2 more for y'all. Yeah.
Oh, okay. This episode was about nothing. Nothing was accomplished here today. No one learned anything. We didn't really talk about any of the current events. But I had a good ass time. I had a good black ass time. We'll be back through the rest of the week.
Hopefully we'll be talking about something more constructive.
Yeah, I'm sure there's plenty of time to talk about the burning of the empire. But I enjoyed talking about this silly shit.
Yeah. Sometimes you gotta have shows that ain't about shit.
Yeah, this is hopefully it's a good palate cleanser for y'all that don't need to hear doom and gloom every day.
Right.
But yeah, make sure you guys do the coronavirus sale and all that stuff. And yeah, until next time. I guess we can still do sword ratchetness. Let me at least do that. We'll do one sword story, guys, and then we'll get out of here. So we can say we did one thing today.
The whole show, random thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for now, and I'll be checking to be sure places ain't hookah joints.
Oh yeah, I'm never doing that again. Son stabs father to death with sword before being fatally shot by Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office deputy.
Damn.
2 people are dead following domestic violence incident on Emerald Dunes Drive. And also, like, there might be lounges and shit that are perfectly fine.
But not there no
this
more.
One, I'm gonna check the reviews.
Yeah, I am too. It was hilarious. Me and Roger got to the other restaurant, sat down. He was like, "Oh, I ain't never going back there again." I was like, "Okay, thank God, we're on the same page."
A Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office deputy shot and killed a suspect who had fatally stabbed his father with a sword early Saturday. According to the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office, deputies responded around 3 a.m. to an armed domestic incident. When deputies arrived at the home, they found a man 20 stabbing his father 52 with a sword. After issuing commands for the suspect to drop the weapon, he refused and they shot the son. Judith McCoy lives in the building across from the incident. She said, "I cannot imagine a son attacking his father. I'm shocked about it. Very shocked and sad. It's sad, so sad." Both the father and son died from their injuries. This is ongoing investigation. They placed the officer on paid administrative leave. So it might have been some suicide by cop type shit.
Yeah, you don't never know with that shit.
But all right, there. We've ended on a proper downer note for all of y'all that needed to.
They need the palate cleanser the other way.
Yeah, y'all needed a palate dirtier. There you go. Now you still need to hear what we have to say about things tomorrow. Coronavirus sale. Don't forget to sign up. And until next time, I love you.
I love you too.
Mwah. Bye, everybody.